makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great. Love, not hate, makes America great. Love, not hate.
Hi, everybody. We're here with Anthony Danesi, who helped organize the Resist Matthews. Hey, welcome.
Hey, thank you, man.
All right. So, this assembly happened so quickly. Have you organized anything like this before?
No, absolutely not. Not even close. This was just totally organic, 100% grassroots event happening in my town.
What happened that inspired you to pull this event together?
So apparently one of the people that I communicate with on Twitter that's part of the Indivisible group had gotten a message from another user from across the country saying that they were having a Trump rally in Stumptown Park in Matthews, North Carolina. And basically we had a few tweet exchanges with a few other people. There was maybe 5-6 of us. And those 5 or 6 of us just said, all right, well, let's do something to have an opposition against them. I originally imagined the 5 or 6 of us standing across the street from the rally with a couple signs, and obviously that changed pretty quickly.
How long were you all organizing this? Was it a couple of weeks or?
So it started on a Monday afternoon, and the event was on a Saturday afternoon. So, we had a solid 5 days to organize it. Pretty much everything, Twitter, Facebook. We didn't even know each other. I've never met any of these people in my entire life. I didn't meet them until Saturday afternoon.
Can you share a little bit about what were the steps? I mean, it sounds nuts and bolts, soup to nuts, but exactly, how'd you do it?
Sure. So at first we talked about, maybe getting some kind of image or some kind of, flyer printed up. And, we talked about, maybe this person can help us, maybe this person, let me reach out to this person. And this was on Monday afternoon. At this point, I knew we didn't have very much time. So I Googled flyer making website, and I made it myself. I said, I'm just going to make it. We got to get this out there. So in the meantime, while I was working on that, they were working on contacting the police, seeing what we needed, if we needed permits, where we needed to stand, etc. So literally the moment that was verified with the chief of police or the police captain, that image started to go out. Facebook event was created, started going out on Twitter, started joining Charlotte progressive groups, and I was like, we got to get this image out as much as possible. We made some actual paper flyers, hung some of those up, and basically just networked with who we knew or who we didn't know, as I didn't know them whatsoever, but
The image was impressive. That was done all online?
Yeah, it was just, there's actually a lot of websites apparently where you can make images. I didn't even know this till recently. I've done a little bit of Photoshop before and paint, but nothing extravagant. I'm not an artist.
Did you get a check from George Soros?
No organization, came and paid us for this event.
One of the things I noticed, you were very articulate. When it comes to being interviewed, how did that feel? What was that all about?
I thought maybe there was a chance I'd be interviewed, so I had maybe 2 sentences of what I would possibly say on the news, and I ended up going on for about 4 minutes at least for each interview.
Sure.
I've known a lot about politics for quite a few years, so I'm pretty well versed on the issues.
Huge problem in the United States. It's been for a long time, so we're not worried. We're here. We're American citizens. We're the majority. Protesting President Pence and his anti-LGBT stance.
I haven't really practiced arguing, debating, or trying to persuade anyone of anything, but it just came from the heart, I guess.
And to that point, let me ask, how did it feel? I stood right here on this sidewalk and looked up the way here and saw, this whole sidewalk packed with people and creative signs with their messages. And when you got here, and you mentioned you didn't know anybody, but all these people, there was a lot of people here.
Honestly, at that point, it was kind of a whirlwind of emotions and energy, and I was trying to get my message out there and our message out there to the people driving by, the people walking by, and in fact, we got a lot of people that said, hey, we just passed by, we heard you guys, we saw you guys, we live down the street, and we decided to join you. And so, later I got to talk to people like, hey, how'd you find out? How'd you get here? And some of those people said that. So, I wanted to spread the message to the people driving by. And in fact, from the street, you really couldn't see what was going on inside the park. And we were standing outside the park. So I think, if you were a drive-by person and you would say, oh, well, hey, it's an anti-Trump protest. There's no Trump rally there.
Something else I'm curious and would like to share with folks is when Mr. Scott was executed by police a few months back, there was some huge protests uptown in Charlotte. And, I got nothing but hugs, no thugs, just hugs and people talking about issues together. And then about 100 police came out in riot gear, helmets, long guns, bulletproof vests, that kind of stuff. And the vibe changed. I mean, for no reason other than they came out, my own blood started to boil. And I don't have anything against the police at all, but it really set the tone. So I'm really leading up to a real simple question. How were the police here?
They were all really receptive. And actually, after we had interactions with the police captain, I was hoping there would be a decent police presence because sometimes our opposition that was here, I don't know how comfortable a lot of us felt with them. In fact, when we started organizing this in the first place, I was like, I don't know, what if someone's violent to us?
I got you freaking right. Hey, he's up for 8 years. Lock it up for 8 years.
He's a racist.
And that was obviously a concern. So I was really happy that they were here. They were receptive. They said, if you need anything, go to X officer and let us know if you need anything. They gave us a lot of space. They weren't intimidating to anyone. And they were overall watching the situation really well.
I felt they were kind. I felt they were courteous. They were concerned that there be a thoroughfare on the sidewalk, and that was about as far as it got. I mean, I heard a couple of them worried that they didn't want anybody to get hit in the street, but that's being neighborly and keeping the peace. For the person sitting out there who enjoys the story, the person who feels the vibe and it kind of agrees, but isn't quite sure they could pull something like this off, what kind of advice would you have for them?
Well, why not? We've all felt like that at some point. And in fact, that was me on Monday, like, oh, should I get involved? No, maybe I won't get involved. And I was like, why not? It's like, hey, if there's 6 of us across the street, like, am I really going to look like that much of an idiot to the people driving by? You know what? I don't care. This is democracy. And, at some point, you need to lace up your boots and get out there and do what you believe is right and moral.
We make expression on the street. We change the future by affecting public policy. And I hope that's a direction you'll take up in the future. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No hate. We did.
Who won the popular vote?
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 We did.
Democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Everyone, democracy